Hey everybody.
Hi.
This is Chris. This is Ed. And we're here to drink wine with you virtually as we are being very safe and precautious and not getting cooties everywhere around, even though we are both vaccinated.
And have been for quite some time.
Yep, but we know there's a lot of people out there not quite ready to come back to our Thursday night tastings at 6 p.m. So this video is for you. And we appreciate you being here every single week. Your support means the world to us. And yeah, and all those people that are here every Thursday, we appreciate that too. I got a feeling some of them watch this to see if anything's different about real life tasting and virtual tasting.
I think that we have a myriad of different people who watch for different curiosities. You never know. It'd be interesting to see what the mindset of the different views would be.
Yeah.
Maybe we do a survey.
Yeah, maybe we should do that. So those 20 people out there.
That's a lot of people. I mean, you think about the views of 20 people. I mean, it would be fascinating to see why
that's
they watch.
40 eyeballs.
I'm telling you.
I mean, if you think of it in eyeball terms.
That's a lot of eyes. And ears.
Oh, yeah, all those ears. That's right.
They're listening, too. Thank you.
So we just survived Mother's Day week, Chef.
Barely.
Many people, you know, working really hard out there in the service industry, the grocery stores. I know Lisa.
What a challenge.
They were really challenged. Just generally speaking, if you're in the candy market, the floral market, anything that has to do with stuff to give mom, you were busy.
I was surprised how incredibly busy we were leading up to Sunday. I mean, the whole week was just a grind. I mean, we had caterings. Every shift was busy, lunch and dinner. I mean, it was just a grind to get through it.
Yeah, it was
a young person's job.
It was a big week, and we had multiple chef's tables. It was nice.
Both nights.
Yeah.
We've been doing just one night. It was both nights.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We had some old friends at the chef's table. We had some newbies. We had the Thayars. Hollis was up here from Salisbury, North Carolina. Yeah. Good to see her.
It was always good to see her.
And we're just really blessed to have such a diverse crowd at the chef's table. It makes for a great conversation.
For sure. And your Friday night's group, I mean, it was such a joy meeting those two, opening the wine shop. And they really enjoyed it.
Right outside of Raleigh.
And they were just, a lot of fun to talk to and get to know. They're very enthusiastic about the food and the wine.
Franklinton, I think.
Franklinton, something like that.
Opening a wine shop and wanted to see how we did our stuff, and so that was an honor to be serving someone like that.
Well, I mean, I think that was a two-way street. I know she learned a lot.
Yeah. And of course, we had a long week, an extra day of work, and I was able to sneak out of here and go to Cary to visit Elizabeth's mom, Stella. And we played bridge and Catan, and they let me win. It was great.
What?
Yeah, I never win. It was awesome.
Wow.
So that was great for me.
Wow.
Sorry if I hurt all your feelings. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Whit.
I think they're going to recover quickly.
Yeah. Well, Dad's probably used to losing. He's always losing in games. So, but anyway, we had a great time, and
it's not. It's just about being together. It's not about winning.
Oh yeah.
Unless you play with you, that it's about winning and not about.
Well, there
wasn't
any money on the table, so it didn't matter.
So it was under the table.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we'll hopefully, that other little surprise guest we had, Rasco.
Yeah, it was actually, we started talking about games, and it made me think it was great to see Rasco and his daughter yesterday.
Yeah, she got a job up at Primlin. They were celebrating by coming to the winery and having lunch. That was nice. So we got to see a lot of great people this week.
I forget how tall he is.
He's a big guy.
Because, I mean, you're around him, and then you go a little while, and you don't see him, and then you see him, you're like...
Yeah, he's a mountain of a man. He's a true mountain man.
He is, in every sense of the word.
And hate that I didn't get to see my mom, but hopefully we'll see her by the end of the month. She's going to hopefully be back in this area by the end of the month. That'll be great.
That will be great. I was texting with her Sunday night, and so she seems in good spirits.
Yeah.
Even though, I can't remember the last time I didn't see her.
I know, it's been decades probably. Yeah. Well, let's talk about some delicious wines since we're all caught up on what's been going on here at ONS. So today we have two reds. We tend to lean towards reds, don't we? I try not to do this often, but this
Yeah.
has happened. These
It's
were on
cold
my
and
mind.
rainy today, so it's perfect.
Yeah, these were on my mind. Now, we've been talking about reds for summertime, and these are definitely reds for summertime because they're not over the top. They're not what I would call chewy reds. So, Pedroncelli, this is one of our favorite wineries. We have their Pinot Noir on our international wine list here. And this is their kind of Friends Red. It's a red blend, and this is they kind of designed just to have a fun red. And with red blends so popular these days, thanks in part by the Prisoner, which we finally got back in stock. They've been hard to get here lately, but we do have those back. But this is more of a softer version. It's not as intense or chewy as the Prisoner. But you have 3 beautiful grapes in this. You have Merlot, which is the primary, and then you have Syrah and Zinfandel. And all 3 of them contribute beautifully here, Chef. I don't know if you had a chance to taste.
I have. It's just delicious.
Yes, this is absolutely delicious. Great nose on this. Yeah, it's got the little winky face on the top. So that's super cute, right? So you can get on the nose. That Syrah really pops to me.
It does. It
And,
does.
and Syrah is just that roasty grape that it seems to be very prevalent of a roasted fruit or toasted fruit whenever I smell Syrah. And on the palate, you have that beautiful bright red fruit, certainly Merlot, and then the spice of the Zin. They really all 3 contribute.
But it's very round. It's a luscious, bright, luscious fruit, but it's very rounded. It's not just fruit.
Yeah, it's all the things. It's beautiful, and for something that's 3 years old, it's incredibly bright. I believe that this is something that would have some life in it if you wanted it to, but it's under $15 a bottle. So why keep it around? Just drink it. They'll make more.
They'll make plenty more, and that's I say that a lot, and it's great to cellar wines and all those things, and I think it's wonderful, but they'll keep doing it.
That's right.
It's I don't know about tomorrow. Sometimes it's like drink it today. We don't know what tomorrow will bring.
Just one note: both of these are twist offs today.
Speaking of,
Yeah, just you don't have time to wait.
time.
Just crack, pour.
And that's when you
Guzzle.
think about it too. I mean, it's like it does take a long time to open a bottle. I mean,
Sure.
you're talking about 9 to 12 seconds when you could just do it in 1 second. Think about all that missed opportunity.
Pedroncelli's been doing it for 90 years. They are one of the crown jewels of Sonoma, in my opinion. Known for great Pinots. No, we featured their cab about a month ago, I think it
Yeah.
was. They just do a great job at everything they do, and this is no exception. This is a great value wine that they provide, and it would be really easy just to buy this by the case. A, it's so inexpensive, and B, it's so easy to drink. You're going to blow through it.
Yeah, I mean, this is an all occasion wine, all food wine. I mean, just drink and forget. It's delicious.
Yeah.
It checks so many boxes. It's incredible.
That's right. Cheers to that.
Cheers. Ding. The hardest part about doing these videos is waiting until we can start drinking. All that work that has to happen before this,
Yeah.
that's the hard part.
Well, I was circling around the kitchen quite a bit today.
We ready? We ready?
Yeah,
We
I
ready?
was very anxious. Because of the gas shortage
Yeah.
and the inclement weather, lunch was pretty slow today.
Okay, so we had projects to do today. We had to do 2 of the more popular things on our menu are fried green tomatoes and spring rolls, and they are coincidentally the 2 things that take the most time to do, and I have to do them at least 3 times a week, and so these things take hours and hours and hours, and so that was running me behind. And of course, we're doing a little specialty cleaning today too. The boys are thrilled about that. So we probably could have started earlier, but we had a couple of roadblocks.
Well,
But we're doing it now, and
Yeah.
life's good.
it is very good. So, quality producer, entry level blend, you really get a lot more bang for your buck. It's always nice when you can get a name that you trust at a price point that you want. That's not always the case. A lot of times that name will cost you more.
That trifecta is hard to come across what you have here.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Delicious. Keeps
Yes.
on going.
It really does. It makes you want to reach back for it.
It does. It's
It makes me even thirstier.
well, it's like, well, I was going to pour some more, but we're going to have this next one. That might circle back around because it really does make you want to just start.
Right.
Delicious.
And not finish until it's done.
Well, and then, like you said, they'll make more.
Mm.
So it's not all bad news.
But it's beautiful how much flavor you get from that wine without the weightiness. It's really easy to drink. Summertime, refreshing. A refreshing red is how I would describe that.
Oh, and we're going to do a little...
I'm jumping the gun.
We're going to do a little light pasta with this. We got a little tricolor cheese tortellini. Going to do with some roasted pork. And I just love pork with this blend. And we're going to do a little blue cheese and almond with that too. So we got a little crunch. We got some creaminess. We got the lean pork. I think it's going to be a great combination with that.
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
Yum, yum.
And now we're on to the Schertel Cabernet from Hess. And this is a 17, so it's got a little age on it. A little bit more. And this is a really cool collaborative. They have a restaurant there, and the chef apparently likes wine, just like this chef does.
And this one.
And this chef. So the winemaker and the chef got together, and if you don't know Hess, they are a big operation. They make really, really solid wines for the money. I was talking to Chris about them earlier when I was letting him know what we were going to have today. That they really deliver a great value. They're kind of what I would call upper tier for their price points, quality-wise. And, I used to have Hess Select on the wine list at Old Mill.
Mm-hmm.
It was very popular.
Well, it's great to have a
lots of different
familiar,
tiers.
especially too with a lot of people. I think it's hard for the average wine drinker sometimes. They'll sit down and wine lists can be intimidating.
Mm.
And having to pick the right thing, and there's a lot of pronunciation roadblocks for a lot of people. They'll feel embarrassed trying to order a wine they may or may not know how to pronounce.
Right.
And when there's a good wine that you can pronounce, you feel
Familiar.
good about, you've had it at home, you're like, oh boy, love this wine, this is going to be a home run. It's a very comforting thing to find a wine like this on a list.
I think a lot of that plays in a part when people are ordering wine at a restaurant, that's for sure. Mm. And so what we have here is a quality producer doing kind of a neat project with the chef and the winemaker. So these wines that the chef kind of helped with the winemaking process, what they were looking for was a style. So this chef helped them deliver a certain style that he was looking for that would best suit food pairing and wine pairing in his restaurant, which is their restaurant as well. So they're all on the same team, but now they're working together to make a great beverage. And who knows, maybe one day the winemaker will work with a recipe in the kitchen. Who knows?
You never know. I mean, why not?
Maybe they'll reciprocate there.
I think that would be appropriate.
But this is a beautiful Cabernet. This is considered North Coast. So if you don't know North Coast, that's essentially Sonoma, Napa, Mendocino Lake. As you see the expanse of this area, all of these areas are very, very high quality wine growing regions. When you get into Lake and Mendocino, land's a lot cheaper. Sonoma, Napa, very expensive areas. So as wineries expand and grow their vineyards, oftentimes they're forced out into other areas, which really is no detriment if you ask me, because these areas are also super high quality outside of Napa and Sonoma. So you have here,
and you're taking Napa Sonoma rootstock out, and you've got a favorable environment to plant there. You wouldn't think it would be too much of a detriment. You get to, like you're always talking about the tremendous costs of starting up, a winery, and so getting your acreage.
Right. Yeah, and then so you've already got your winery built. Now you just need the vines and the acreage for sure. So you can do a lot of that, multitasking, so to speak, consolidated into one specific crush pad or winery. That certainly helps with expenses too. So in a sense, you can get more acreage, and the cost per acre is even lower because you already have a facility for that acreage. So that's another efficiency that comes into play as they expand. And of course, I guess they might have to upgrade their winery, but they're not building an entire new winery.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense.
So this would be considered a lighter style cab, but it is not lacking in flavor by any means.
Not at all.
Both of these wines are what I would consider medium body, and for those particular grapes that we listed, those grapes are usually heavier body. So in a sense, they're dialed back texturally and weight-wise so that they are more favorable for food and or warmer weather.
Which you're certainly going to get in this area too. I mean, in that area, our area. But the great springtime cab. This is delicious.
And it's mouth-watering. Got good little hidden acidity there. Lots of black fruit, dark fruit. A little vanilla in there, but it's not. I wouldn't say this is heavily oak influenced because I don't have this chewiness to it.
No, it doesn't, which I think works in its favor. I mean, it's when you're getting ready to taste the North Coast cab, you're like, oh boy, here we go. It's going to be fennel and vanilla and just all these things are going to assault your palate early on. This is very soft to begin with, and which I really like. I mean, it's beautiful.
Right. Yeah. You tend to like medium style weight.
Yes.
You're more in the Southern Rhone and Italy, where those are almost always medium weight wines.
It's hard for me to warm up to a big cab, especially early. To me, I always like a big cab to be the second or third bottle in a long dinner.
Right.
I mean, that usually is the case, but
right.
I will never just say, let's open a cab. You want to work your way into a cab, and
right.
Boy, this could go to the front of the line.
It's wonderful. Yeah, this delicious. Is versatile.
Delicious.
There's a lot of things we could do with this at the chef's table. It could be a third course. It could be a sixth course.
Absolutely.
We were talking about that with some of our guests, how we decide these menus for the chef's table, and we were explaining how on the chefs start sketching something out, they can be in complete total disarray. Like you shook them up and threw them out on the table. You never know which is going to be second or sixth.
I love watching how that mash comes out by the time it's Friday or Saturday night, and to see the finished product, the finished pairing, the finished progression. I mean, it's always a wild ride.
And we ended up with wines from all over the world this past time.
Even New York.
Yeah, we ended up.
I think that's the first. That's the first that the chef's table made.
I can't remember using.
There may be a Canadian ice wine before, but I think it's the first New York wine. That I can remember. It doesn't mean anything.
Gosh, we've done a lot of them, Chef.
They're just stacking up, aren't they?
But the good news is they're all delicious.
So far, so good.
But finding those wines is always a challenge for me, and I'm glad that we have the resources to do it, because you can see it in the guest's eyes.
You really can, and I know that. I hope it's as rewarding for you as you can see their pleasure in doing it, because I know we do it every week, and it could be easy to take it for granted, but you shouldn't.
We had someone over the weekend, and we had a poulet foussé paired with one of the dishes, and it was someone who did not like Chardonnay. And she took the glass after she drank it, was holding it up against her heart. She said, "This wine is so good it makes me want to weep." It's Chardonnay. She doesn't like Chardonnay.
Doesn't like Chardonnay.
But the dish, the glass, it all worked together, and that's a lot of fun.
Well, and getting, and again, I'm not putting down anybody's wine. Making wine is hard.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to make. It's as hard to make bad wine as it is to make good wine. And I think that is something that people don't think about when they have a wine they don't like. They don't realize just as hard to make a bad wine as it is to make a good one. All sorts of factors play into that. But it's real easy to go to the store and get a lot of the Chardonnays. I wouldn't like Chardonnay either.
That's a good point.
But even when you drink good middle of the road Chardonnays, if you haven't had Puy Fusé, if you haven't had a lot of the stuff that you serve there, I mean, you haven't experienced real Chardonnay.
Yeah, no,
it's
it
a
really
revelation because you don't know what a true French Chardonnay tastes like and what a real Chardonnay should taste like. And they've changed it over the decades to fit what they think the American palate wants rather than what the expression of the fruit wants. Mm-hmm. But boy, you get those Puy Fusés, man, and you're like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah,
what have I been doing?
Right, yeah. I think a lot of people have a little adversity, I guess. Maybe that's not the right word, but they have a little conflict with the amount of oak that's in Chardonnays, modern oaks, modern Chardonnays rather, and. I'm not anti-oak, don't get me wrong, but this things kind of get a little clumsy, a little over the top.
It's also hard to find now. So say you I do this experiment all the time, and say I don't know, I hadn't been drinking wine for 35 years.
Okay. I'm going to drink
and I try to put myself into that scenario. Thank you. So he goes, I'm going to go to the store. You know what? I'm tired of such and such Chardonnay that tastes like a oak butter thing. And I want something crisp or stainless steel, a different style. Well, you go to the wine shop. Depends on who's working that day.
True.
They either hate you because you came in to spend money, and they're like, you're not good enough for me to talk to. And you're like, you go to the grocery store, you're not going to go to the Puy Fusés. You're not even going to know Puy Fusé is Chardonnay.
Right. That's true. It doesn't even say it on the bottle.
And you go to the wine shop, depending on who's working. These days, they'll pay anybody to work. Mm-hmm. And you got some kid who doesn't even drink wine going, the Chardonnays are over there. But,
right.
So it's really hard without, not many people are just going to run into you and here and go, oh, this, sometimes it takes a chef's table experience or a Thursday night tasting before they even know that. And then you have to go out. In most stores, it's going to be the Louis Judot, Puy Fusé. It's going to be $45. You're like, nope.
Yeah.
Not knowing that would be a value.
Right. They're just not ready to take.
They're not ready to go from the $16 Chardonnay to the $45 Puy Fusé. Blind. Mm-hmm. And
if they taste it, they will. But you're absolutely right.
So there's so many factors play into keeping people in their rut.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it. When I go to the store a lot. And I just do that little experiment. What would I buy if I were coming in here wanting to get out of my comfort zone? And I look at all the things that I would go up to from where I would be, and I would be disappointed.
Yeah.
You've really got to make a little jump.
Right.
At that $20 level.
Yeah.
I think
you're right.
And it's hard, and I think that puts people back in their shell. And that's why they go back to their
especially if they did it once and got burned. I'm not doing that again.
I'm not doing that again. But let's just at your tasting every Thursday, $20, 4 wines from around the world. Yeah. You're not. You can't get a bad bottle of wine for $20. Mm-mm. Blind shopping, and so but to get 4 of different varieties and education that enables you, empowers you to go out and buy different wines either from you or when you're out, I mean, that's invaluable. I mean,
Yeah.
it's such an invaluable tool.
That's why we do it, right?
It's,
I think we've been successful doing it.
I could not agree more. Incredibly successful.
Let's do it some more.
Changing lives.
That's right.
Cheers.
One bottle at a time.
One bottle at a time.
So I'm sorry we got off, and I took you on to a Chardonnay area. We were talking about this cab, but that
Hess makes a great Chardonnay.
They do.
My mother used to
They
drink
do.
Hess
It's
Select
wonderful.
Chardonnay. That was her case at a time thing. I mean, it was a delicious
Killer value. Yeah, they're Hillside
Consistent.
Select. Yeah.
Hillside Select. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah. They also had they have so many tiers. Their Mount Veeder, like a mountain cab.
That was at Ben had that on the undercurrent list.
Yes.
The Mount Veeder one.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent. So, in other words, they make all kinds of excellent wines. This is not only a collaboration with the chef and the winemaker, but it's specifically designed for restaurants, so that this helps empower restaurants to have a special wine just for them. So you're not going to find this at the grocery store, but it also gives. Let's say you don't have a sommelier at your restaurant.
Right.
And you're not really sure a wine that would be versatile to
Or the
all kinds
chef has the psalm on the line.
or something
Running
like
the
that.
grill and he can't get out to the table.
Could be, but when you're designing these, if you're not real technical with wine and you want to have a small wine list but cover all the plates, have pairing ability. This wine gives you that. So this is actually helping a lot of the smaller restaurants that can't have huge lists. It gives them that ability to have something on the list that'll go with most of their food.
That's a great point. I mean, you can just it goes with all that.
Yeah. And I tell you, that's when
It's a
we're
great
sitting here
tool to
drinking
have.
it. I'm trying to think of something it wouldn't go with.
It's a great tool to have in the toolbox.
Both of these reds, as a matter of fact,
That's a
the
great-
Hess and the
good point.
Pedroncelli, incredibly food friendly here. So with that being said, this time I'm going to remember to cue you
This time.
for the pairing since I blew it on the first one. What do you think you're going to throw at this?
Well, I was going to make a little empanada.
Ooh, you haven't done one of those
I haven't
in
done it
a
in a
hot
minute. It's been a minute.
Probably
I feel
been
like
a year, hasn't it?
It has. I feel like I've been in a little rut here lately with some of my things. And sometimes it's a rut, sometimes it isn't.
Sometimes you're just on a roll.
Sometimes I'm trying to hone one thing
Yeah.
for a time. But I've been thinking about it, and I don't know why. I had this beautiful skirt steak this week, and I was like, you know what? This would be a tremendous little empanada. A little caramelized onion and pepper and skirt steak. I'll make a beautiful little dough, and we'll either bake them or drop them in the fryer. It'd be fun. And
That
also,
would be awesome.
they're going to make great Scooby snacks for you and me when I
Yes.
happen to make too many.
That's awesome. Yeah, that
It'd be great
steak
with-
sandwich you did for a special, holy moly.
Ooh, flew out of
People
here.
were loving that
Flew
stuff.
out of here. It's delicious.
Yeah, you've been you're talking about being a rut. Like I said, you've been on a roll. So we've had such successful specials. They've been in high demand, so we've kind of kept them rolling. But this week he bust out like 3 new lunch specials, and they're all amazing,
They've
and
been
people
fun.
are buying them up.
You're scooping them up.
exciting.
It's been great.
Yep.
It's been great. So
Come see us for lunch.
it's a great place to have lunch.
And we have outdoor dining.
Outdoor dining.
Of course, today it wouldn't be that great if you can't see it, but it's
This
a
is the
little
kind of
drizzly.
day I want to eat outside.
Yeah, if it weren't so wet, but the temperature's ideal.
It's just perfect. It's just perfect.
And we hope that you can get out here when the time is right and have a seat with us and maybe catch up a little bit. But until then, we're happy to do this virtually every single week and hope to see you again next week. And I don't know, who knows what it'll be next
Who
week?
knows what'll happen?
Who knows? But
Who
we're
knows?
gonna do something
There will be you and I with wine, one way or the other.
one way or another. And I hope you've enjoyed these two when it's all said and done. We sure do. And we look forward to experiencing some new stuff soon. And I hope you enjoyed the food too.
Thank you all very much. Hope you have a great night.
See ya.
Bye.